Welcome to the Basics of Jazz Drum Set for Music Educators series. In this series, we're covering everything from setup and tuning to important grooves to know, how to decipher sheet music, and most importantly, how to communicate to a young drummer who might not know much yet what you're looking for in your rehearsals. If this sounds like something you'd be interested in, then great! I'm so glad I can help. Feel free to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss it when I put out another episode. Today's video is about one of the most important grooves that a jazz drummer should know how to play, a rock beat. Now, I know some of you band directors might be wondering where I'm going with this. A rock beat? But this is jazz band. I know, it might seem a little bit off topic, but it's not, and that's because of a couple key reasons. Firstly, lots of fusion type charts exist for young bands with a rock beat feel, because go figure, kids dig that. Secondly, as a young drummer, lots of the more classic jazz band grooves that you might run into, like a bossa nova, a funk beat, or modern straight eighth music, are actually pretty difficult to play. In cases where a kid has just started playing and is really only comfortable with a two-limb swing groove or a rock beat, adding something in like a hemiola that you might in a bossa nova pattern, or tons of syncopation like is necessary for funk, or just lots of groove variation measure to measure, it can just be too much. A rock beat can serve as a useful middle step. Switch the big fat snare rim shot for a rim click and you have a beginner's bossa nova. If you can get them to add one or two more bass drum or snare drum notes and maybe an opening of the hi-hat tastefully every few bars, you've got a decent beginner's funk groove. And switching the right hand to the ride cymbal and asking the kid to practice playing dynamics and making quieter sounds on the bass drum and snare drum will get you within reach of something that sounds more like a modern straight eighth beat. My point is that this groove is a workhorse. If you show this to your drummers and they get comfortable playing it, this will open up a wide world of more charts that your young, inexperienced jazz band can play and feel confident and successful when they do. Then, after they've felt confident and successful playing a wide variety of charts, they may just be inspired to go home and practice a little bit more so that even more things become well within their reach. When all the time that you have with your jazz band is an hour or two a week, the rock beat presents a much greater bang for your buck than trying to get your young drummer to learn a bossa nova will. All right, let's get started. The foundation for a basic rock beat is that driving bass drum and snare drum rhythm, which goes like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and easy, just the bass drum and snare drum back and forth. Once we have this locked in, we're going to add eighth notes on our hi-hat to the mix. That's what this sounds like all together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, your student may have trouble putting all three parts together. That's totally normal. The quickest way to get it all going is to break it down into groups of two limbs. Playing three things at once is often a lot for a new player, so by removing one piece, they can feel how each individual part fits against the rest. Additionally, if one particular limb or piece is a problem, you as the educator and they as the student will be in a lot better place to recognize that and then focus in on it. We already did the bass drum and the snare drum, so that leaves two more combinations. Next up, we'll do the hi-hat and the bass drum. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, now we'll try hi-hat and snare. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Nice. Once the student can can play all of these at around the same tempo comfortably, have them try the full beat again. If it's still giving them trouble, that's totally cool. If you do this cycle every day for a week or two, it should come together pretty quickly. All three as groups of two, then try the full beat. Send them home with this as their homework, and within a week or two, you should have a really solid rock beat coming out of your rhythm section. Once your student has this down, we can adapt the way that it's played just a little bit while keeping most of the same rhythm to get a beginner's bossa nova, or a funk beat, or a faux modern straight eighth kind of thing. Here's what some of those might sound like. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, 1, 2, ready, go. While they're not super authentic beats, this might be your key as a band director to being freed from the world of swing tunes and really old bad arrangements of pop music with a young drummer who can really only do two things so far. Encourage your students to practice playing their rock beat in a variety of different dynamics and tempos, and encourage them to start messing around with it. See what they come up with. That's the kind of practice, both on your part and theirs, that lets them become really comfortable in a variety of different musical situations, and all with just one simple little beat. I hope this was helpful for you. If it is, or if you had any questions that this video brought up, or questions that I didn't get to today, go ahead and throw them down there in the comments. Other jazz drummers, or other drummers in general, if you feel like I missed something, or if there's another way that you like to teach the beginnings of the rock beat that you think could be helpful, throw it down there too. Remember that the point of this series is to be the best resource for the community that it possibly can. Okay, well, I'll be back next Tuesday with another episode. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time.